Welcome to the 2019 men's soccer season review and being joined by John Saleska. Just completed his first season at the Falcon Helm, a year that would see the team win 13 games, lose 5, and tie 1 overall after a great start. Got out of the gate 6-0, 9-1, competed as always in the conference, got back into the conference tournament, ultimately ended up hosting MSOE in the NAC tournament. And Coach, first of all, thanks for your time. And as you look back at year number 1 for you at the helm, you look at the 19 matchups you guys were involved in. How would you go about assessing the way the season played out?
Yeah, as a first year, it really was a lot of fun. It was challenging. Definitely learned some lessons. I would say we started out very strong. You'll see in our early season record, we won games, scored a lot of goals, defended very well, but it was still a little bit of a learning process. And we stumbled against some of the tougher teams that we were playing. So we definitely had some learning and growing to do. But overall, I would say it was very, very fun, educational, and very successful first season.
What did you feel were the strengths of the team, and did those strengths change over time?
Yeah, that's another good question. I think the strengths of the team were, number one, our ability to combine together with the ball. We looked very good in possession, and we were able to create a lot of scoring chances, especially against teams that would try and press us and play very high. Our weaknesses this year were against teams that were willing to sit back a little bit deeper, defend deeper, willing to concede possession to us at times, and then look to play against us on the counter. And we were not strong enough in those transition moments when we lost the ball. And I think that's why you saw some of the games near the end of the season where the scores didn't turn out the way that we were hoping for.
Obviously, you want to win every game, or at least get a result in every game. But how encouraging is it every year when you look at least the home record and seeing that, at Fitting Field, this is a tough place for teams to come away with a result. And again, you guys are able to protect the home turf.
Yeah, that's something we talk about as a team. It's not, there's no magic formula for winning at home, but we do have good support. We appreciate our students and our reserve guys. They come out and cheer us on. So I do think it's a fun environment, and it does, lend itself to kind of that fortress feel when you go home and you have your own locker room, you get to wake up in your own bed in the morning, that kind of thing. You don't have to dread that bus ride home. So that's something that we talk about and pride ourselves on and work towards. So I'm happy when the record reflects that.
Before we talk about some of the individuals from this past season, I want to get your thoughts on you as a coach. And you touched on it already a second ago, but how about for you in growing into this role as a head coach? What did you learn, from going through the process? How do you feel you grew into the role from start to now finish? And just how do you feel now overall after 1 year under your belt?
Yeah, in terms of managing personalities, that's something that I think is a strength of mine. And I think we did a good job overall of keeping the team together and getting guys to buy in and understand what we were looking for. In terms of weaknesses, tactically, there's some things I would do differently looking back on the season. Psychologically, in terms of how I talk to the team at times, I think I need to be better about getting them to focus on the moment and the game we're in, and not looking forward to some of the end of the season goals when you're in the middle of a big important game or right before a big important match. So just focusing on the small things and the details and not the overall end of the entire season kind of goals.
What do you feel like that was the biggest challenge in your adjustment from being from an assistant to a head coach?
There are a lot of challenges. I think it's the day-to-day details of running a program as opposed to being the assistant that was the biggest challenge for me. So I was laughing as I was talking to my assistants this year and saying I didn't feel like a coach until about the third or fourth week of the season. I just felt like a manager who was managing bus schedules and food schedules and all the other things that go into a program that I haven't really had to deal with in the past.
Now, talking about, outside of bus schedules and all that, when it came to actually playing the game, players that stepped up. A couple of newcomers, Jackson Dryden, a transfer on in, coming through as a first-team all-conference honoree, came through with 12 goals, 4 assists. Ivan Cuellar coming up big as a freshman when it came to the attack. What did you see from those two, and how did they make this team better?
Yeah, both of them had outstanding years, left-footed players, dangerous attacking players, but definitely different stylistically. Jackson is not a volume scorer. If you look at the number of shots he gets, he's nowhere near the top of the conference. But you look at his goals, and he is. And he doesn't need many chances to score. Very accurate, puts his shots on frame, and scores some great goals. Ivan is kind of a player who's best in transition moments. He likes the ball in space, dangerous one-on-one player, and then it's that final ball that he's very good at, whether it's scoring the goal or crossing. That's kind of where Ivan excels.
As far as other all-conference honorees go, Owen Henisko on the defensive side, a second-team all-conference selection. What did you see from him on that back line?
Well, Owen has been a left back his entire career here at Concordia, and this year we shifted him in to center back. It took a couple of games for that transition to really set in, but man, once he got a little more comfortable in the position, he really took off. His biggest strength was his passing. We had the ability to build out of the back, play with our defenders and our keeper. When we found Owen, he was great at breaking lines of pressure with his passes. So instead of playing the ball up the same side of the field, he could see both sides of the field. He was able to play angled balls through defenses who are pressing, break lines of pressure, and then create attacking transition moments for us. Great in the air, strong, physical, just overall a very good player, and I thought had an outstanding senior season.
And of course, he was playing in front of Nate Yeager, the starting goalkeeper. It had to be a nice luxury, for a first-year head coach to have that kind of experience between the posts.
Yeah, Nate's a great guy. He works very hard. He played through an injury this year, had a shoulder injury that at times in practice and in games we could see him, when he landed awkwardly holding it. So, physically he endured a lot this year. We really appreciated that. Putting those two together, you had leadership, vocal leadership back there, organizing. They had been through tough moments before, so those two together kind of gave us this foundation to build on in the back. And stylistically, they worked well too. Nate's biggest strength is his distribution. He can use his feet very well. He can throw the ball. He's got a great foot. Can hit it hard, accurately. So when you put those kind of things together, kind of dictated our style of play this year.
In the midfield, a second-team all-conference honoree was Will King. What did you see from King?
Huge step forward from last year. Took him a couple weeks to find his feet last year. Coming from United Kingdom, he's from the Reading area. Wasn't used to the quicker transition play of Division III soccer, and once he kind of caught on, he really took a step forward last year. This year, even a bigger step forward. This year he came in, I think he was fitter than last year. He already knew what to expect in terms of the style of play, and he really controlled a lot of our style. He had the ability to play angled balls to both sides of the field, again break lines of pressure similar to Owen, and just very good on the ball. Even under pressure with defenders, he's able to change direction, keep possession, and then connect passes that get us going forward and start the attack.
Certainly there's a slew of other players we could sit here and mention and talk about. We'd be here all day. I mean, there's so many players that contributed to the team's success this season, but I guess to sum up the player aspect of things, I want to talk and touch on the senior classes, what they meant to you, what they meant to this program as they wrap up their collegiate careers.
Absolutely. Good class of seniors this year. Different roles on the team for sure, but the thing that stands out to me is the personalities. You have guys who love to be here. They're big supporters of the program. Through the ups and downs, they're positive, bringing the team together, and that's really what I appreciated. We're going to miss these guys, and it's not just for on the field things. Of course, they're great players, servants of the program, but really it's the leadership that they provided, the personality, to the entertainment at times of training. They're a fun group of guys to be around.
Wrap it all up, the offseason focus now. What is the focus for those that are going to be back next season? Obviously, you're preparing also for the spring season when it comes to calling, but that's still a few months away. So what is going on now here in this offseason?
Well, the focus is on the academics for the next 2 weeks. Finals are coming up next week. Guys are wrapping up big projects, final papers, studying for exams, that kind of stuff. They're playing indoors in Catalyst Sunday nights. So we have a core group here on campus who are playing every Sunday. Also involved in our strength and conditioning program, of course. They're in there 2 to 3 times a week lifting, working on their core, balance, flexibility. Those kind of elements are going to help them on the field next fall. We'll put them in fitness groups after the Christmas break here, and they'll get together again. And we challenge them in the offseason to stay in shape, to keep playing, to be active in our strength and conditioning programs. So that's kind of what their schedule looks like right now.
Well, great stuff, Coach Saleska. Thanks a lot as always for your time, and enjoy your offseason.
Thank you.